Hey guys, so this Wizard Liz and Landon situation just keeps getting worse, and honestly, I don't even know how that's possible. But each time there are more and more strange things coming out, more and more pieces of the puzzle that are actually starting to make sense as to why their relationship ended up being so toxic and why we didn't really know that much and probably don't even know half of the things anyway. But it's just such a good story of how things are never the way they are portrayed, and we can see all these influencers and YouTubers and people having all these wonderful perfect relationships, and behind the scenes we really don't know anything. And these two, they both have a lot of dark stories in the past, and we're gonna see now a lot of dark things that also happened to Landon. And no, they don't justify what he did or anything like that, but they do explain a lot of things. So let's get into it. So just a little recap, Liz met this guy Landon. They had known each other for a while before they actually, met in person, and they were both single. They both were really instantly drawn to each other, and within a year, they became a relationship, they became official, they got engaged, and she became pregnant. And then he tried to cheat on her. I mean, he cheated on her, right? But he didn't physically cheat on her with this girl. He was messaging this girl to try and get with her physically while Liz was 4 months pregnant. And last week she published this to her story, and he replied, and all the drama has ensued. And I would say at this point he's probably like one of the top most hated people online. And honestly, I do think it's becoming a bit extreme. Not to say that what he did wasn't wrong, because it evidently was, but the extreme of the hate that he's getting, and we're going to see some of it right now. And I'm talking about he should F himself and he should unalive himself and all these horrible messages that he's getting many times a day. I do believe that's taking it a bit extreme. And I think not having his wife and not having his baby is going to be already punishment enough, and people should just really move on and leave him alone. I really do think so. And I think it's also going to affect her and going to affect the baby even more. So I think they should really just leave this guy alone. He's going to have to live with the consequences of his mistakes anyway his entire life. But anyway, what has taken place since we last spoke, just letting you guys know that I do have 2 other videos that I've been doing updates on this topic that I will leave up here. So what took place is that Landon's ex actually came online. She went online and made a TikTok that has gone extremely viral, where she has said some very interesting things about their relationship. Let's take a look. Okay, so as you can see, she starts the video with part 1 of me and that thing 1 year relationship, and referring to Landon since everybody refers to him as that thing now.
Hi, I'm not really wanting to make this video, but I feel like I'm obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a partner that has hurt you so much.
Okay guys, so this video is 9 minutes long, and we have way other TikToks that she also made. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in double speed or so, or at least just faster, because otherwise we're gonna be here for 2 hours or so.
Hi, I'm not really wanting to make this video, but I feel like I'm obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a partner that has hurt you so much and it made you feel so less. And even being in the public eye per se, I love to tell you what's going on in my life and who I'm dating and what I'm doing, but it's a lot when it's about someone who also now is in the public eye. And I'm not here to tell my story and hate and shit on someone, because at the end of the day, we need to pray for an individual that possesses so much hate and so much hurt in his heart to hurt other people physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's what I said when I got out of this and lived through what I went through with him. And I'm not here to hate on him. I'm here to tell my story because I have a voice, and it's been limited for so long because I'm terrified of this man coming back into my life. And there's just so much that I want to get off my chest, so in detail with screenshots, because I have every screenshot, I have receipts, and I want everyone to know that I had nothing to do with their marriage, or we were not together when they got engaged. People were saying that, and we dated for a year from 2023 to 2024. I was physically abused by this man. I was mentally abused by this man. He took my past trauma and made me feel so safe and heard and understood. And I fell for it because I was stupid and codependent and idiotic. And I have no more shame anymore. There's thousands of women who have gone through what I've been through, plus worse things that's ever happened to them, and they can get out and tell their story, I have enough strength to tell mine. So this is what this video is going to be. I met Landon 2023 to 2024. I met him in Dallas, Texas. He's from Oklahoma. I'm from Texas. I met him. I was his bottle girl. He came all the time. Everyone said he was known for being the sweetest person. My guard was already up. I was 3 months abstinent. I was not in a relationship. I ended up getting a lot of trauma that happened to me in the state of Connecticut. I had someone steal my identity and lock me in a closet and then put a to my head and beat me to the point where I was in the ER. So I was traumatized. I was broken. I was hurt. I had a unresolved wound from my parental figures, with a disorganized attachment style, with a severe codependent issue. I experienced something that I wish no one has ever in their life would go through. But I hope that me telling my story and what I went through with the receipts, because I have such a weird feeling that people are going to think I'm lying, and that's just how I've always been. So I ended up deleting my contact with him and getting rid of my number, and I deleted everything when I broke up with him in 2024. And my best friend sent me all the screenshots. So if it wasn't for her, I would have had nothing to showcase for. But we met in Dallas. I was his bottle girl. My friends knew Landon because he was always going out. I was 21 at the time. I lived in a different state, and I just never went out. I'm just not a going out person. I'm not a big drinker. I don't do drugs. He does that, whatever he wants. I don't care what he does. So when everyone was like, oh my God, Landon's here. He's so sweet. He's so nice. He's a gamer. One of my friend's sister works for his cousin that's Preston Plays. So everyone's saying he's just such a nice person. And I'm like, great, you could be a nice person. You're in my age range. You're freaking smart. I'm a sapiosexual and a demisexual. So I love when people are smart. I love having someone intellectually dominate me. I love that. So he's just really good with his words. And I told him I would just want nothing but friendship. So we did the 4th of July together. I met all of his friends. He met some of my friends, and everyone was just having a grand old time. And I went home after that, and he's like, I'll come with you. I was like, no, like, I'm not, I can't, like, there's so much in my heart. I don't feel safe being with a guy I don't know, everything like that, because I had to bring what happened to me into that, because that was in April, and we were talking in July, and then we started officially dating in August. He made me feel so loved, so seen, so heard, so understood. He took my trauma that I didn't want to open up about, and he made it feel like I'm safe. And I believed him, because at the end of the day, like, he was just such a nice person. I'm hearing it from all of his friends, from all of my girlfriends that know him personally, because they've been his bottle girl for years. And I'm like, wow, like, could this be the guy that I prayed for? Like, could this be everything I ever wanted in life? And I was not educated in therapy. I was not educated in psychology. I was not educated in anything spiritual. And he awakened something in me that I always knew I had. I always have been super, super, super emotional, and I felt everything that someone else was feeling. So I knew that I was a codependent early on in the relationship, because I'm fawning around him, because we have fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So I was doing that, and I was always like talking about how I'm hurting and like everything like that. So I realized that there was something neurologically wrong with me, because I kept on going back over and over again. And I don't want to make this a long video. So we met, we started dating. He cheated on me with the first girl. I'm going to show you the screenshots. This was the first screenshot. And then I've had such a broken part of me that was never healed and never fixed, and I kept on saying to myself, like, why am I attracted to the same quality men in different fonts? Why is this happening to me? And then I realized it was me, because I was vibrating at such a low frequency to attract these horrific men. And then I was like, okay, let me start healing myself. So I started researching into therapy, and I was about to break up with this man, because I was like, you know what? No, like, I've been traumatized by men. Stay away from me. I held my boundary very firm. He wrote me a love letter. He wrote me a book. He wrote me a song. He came to my house with thousands of flowers every time he messed up, and he just swooned me back in. And I was like, wow, like, he's putting this much effort into me, like, a month into knowing him. He must love me. I was so stupid. I was so naive, and I was so young to ever think that's what love is. And after experiencing a non-toxic, super, super, super loving personality with my boyfriend presently, I'm like, wow, like, why was I ever so broken and so alone and so hurt and so desperate to love, to lick a knife of love off of a man? Like, he fed me nothing but lies. His words never correlated with his actions, so I was sacrificing my boundaries to attune to his freaking words, because his freaking actions were like below average. And I was so stupid, and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I took him back like 7 times. He cheated on me. I took him back. I ended up getting pregnant by him. I had my miscarriage. I was alone. He was doing his own thing. He wouldn't comfort me. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, fuck, I'm repeating a pattern. And we went to therapy. He found a therapist that specialized in BPD. He told me that I had BPD, and she looked at me, she's like, girl, you do not have BPD. You're too self-aware. You're too empathetic. That doesn't even make sense. You've never been suicidal. And he's like, and he's making me feel like I have something neurologically wrong with my brain. And I was like, no, there's no way. And then I actually believed him. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna be loved. He's the only man that's gonna love me. And that's what I thought, because he kept on throwing my past in my face. He kept on telling me that if I was a real woman, I wouldn't be doing like being a bottle girl. So I ended up quitting bottle service, because he told me that the woman that he wants to be with can't be a bottle girl. But he goes into the clubs and he loves the attention from every bottle girl. It makes no sense. And he cheated on me with other bottle girls. Like, it made no sense. In my brain, when I was 21, it made complete sense. So I lost my baby, and he was cheating on me again. He cheated on me, and this is the first time he laid his hands on me. And I'm gonna show you the video, trigger warning. And he was coming to come get me, and he punched a hole in the wall. He cornered me. I have pictures and videos. Hold on. This is him. This is what he would do to get me back in, because I started to think that I was the one with the issue, because I set the boundary. I showed this. It was that night. We're not even fucking 4 months in. I have to make a part 2, and I don't want this. It's literally 10 minutes long. I'm gonna speed through this. It's only gonna be one more part, so go to part 2.
Okay, so clearly this is going to be very, very long, because it seems like each part is going to be that long. So just to summarize part 1, she's saying that he cheated on her. She's saying that he was physically abusive, that he would gaslight her into thinking she had BPD when she doesn't, that he would blame it all on her, that she was possibly pregnant or actually had a miscarriage. So extremely big accusations, and that he was saying he didn't want to be with her because she was a bottle girl, and manipulating the dynamic when he actually loved this kind of girl. So very, very big accusations. Let's see what else she has to say.
Part 2 of who the fuck was I dating. I'm literally breaking out in hives and rashes, because I have so much built up anxiety, because I don't want to talk about this at all. And I'm doing this because it needs to be said. There needs to be truth of what's behind. There has to be something that I can show you guys, to the point where you understand, like, I'm not the person that he cheated on with Liz. So I took him back because I'm stupid, because he would flood with more notes, more handwritten notes, more flowers, more everything. And he would jump a like 10-foot fence to get into my building, my apartment complex. He would literally like write me notes and everything. Like, it was just so much abuse, physically and then mentally. Took him back. It comes around New Year's. He cheated on me again with the same girl. They went to the same party. I just lost. I was like, whatever, just go do you. He invited her to Hawaii with his guy friends in like January. My brain's not working. January. And then I found that out when I went through his phone. We broke up again. He threw a light wand at me. Like, it was just so much. My birthday comes around in February. My first actual ever birthday, I didn't cry because I had so much trauma from my past. I hated my birthday. He did that well, I guess. Even though I did my own birthday balloons. And then Valentine's Day comes around. So much trauma with March. And then April is when it's his birthday, and he went to go to Bora Bora with his guy friends. I totally believed that was the story that he was telling me. He said it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was like, yeah, go have fun. Like, I'm not a toxic person. You go have fun. I have my own friends. You have your own friends. Have fun. I thought it was with the man in Bora Bora with all of his guy friends. It wasn't. It's with the girl, another girl that he cheated on me with. She's from Florida, and that hurt. That really hurt because he didn't post me on social media. We never hard launched it because I knew that I was never gonna hard launch it because every girl in Dallas has been with this man while he was with me exclusive. I was exclusive with him. And I was just embarrassed, and I knew that I deserved better. I knew that I had a frontal lobe. I knew that in that moment, I was so disappointed in myself that I was recreating my nervous system to be okay, to find men that just was like him, like my father, and it broke me. Like, it broke me to be pregnant. It broke me to go through that. It broke me to feel what my mom felt. Like, it broke me, and I knew that this is not love. When we went to the therapist, she was like, this is not love. She was like, honey, you're so young, and you don't deserve this, and this is not normal, and this is not how it should be. She told me that those butterflies in your stomach that you get with a man is just your nervous system saying, stop, please stop, find someone else. And when she told me that, it stuck with me. I kept on going to see her. I don't have BPD, but she knew what I went through, so she would know how to heal me. And she made me have so much self-worth because she kept on telling me that it's my choice to go back, and it is my choice. Your nervous system is regulated with him. He loves going to up and downs, being like, he loves me, he doesn't love me, he doesn't love me. And like, it was making me go crazy. So he got back from Bora Bora. I woke up on a Sunday when he was in Bora Bora, whatever day that was. I don't remember his birthday, but the only Sunday he was there for, I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, he got with someone. I felt it in my soul because it was a trauma bond. It was a soul tie. Like, it was so much in my heart that I felt. I literally freaking woke up and was like, yeah, that's it. I woke up with thousands of emails because I blocked him when he went. Because I was like, no, this is not for me. You know, you have fun, but you are going to Bora Bora, you're going to be with me. And he made that decision. I let him walk out of my life, and I was okay with that. I was doing so good. But then that moment when I woke up at that 4 a.m. Sunday, I woke up with thousands of emails, calls from my best friend. Her name was Sam, helping me through this. She's like, what the fuck happened? You're not talking to her. It's been like a week. You're fine. And I'm like, no, like, I know he was with someone, but he swear he wasn't. He was with all these guys. I took him back when he got back, and I went through his phone, and he had no photos, he had no videos, he had no text messages, and I thought that was weird. And then there was a group chat, and there was an emoji, like a wife emoji next to this girl's name, and I was like, you're with her. And he opened up, and he was honest that he was with her. I'm gonna show you a screenshot. Said that they didn't have sex. They did have sex. There was this. He sent me like playing house. Like, what the fuck? This is the email. Apologizing. This is everything. This is everything. This is everything still. Found me at the gym, and then he wanted me to talk to him, and it was just so toxic. He sent me email. Physically ended it with him in April. I moved to Miami. I graduated college. He made it all about him when I graduated college. Showed up at my house with all these gifts and all these flowers. I said no. I respected myself. Finally, said no. Moved to Miami all by myself. I'm still in the same unit. Love it. I bought my house. I'm good riddance of this man. He lured me back in. We were talking. We were having fun. I'm meeting his friends. He seemed so nice. So everything. And I couldn't get over the past. I couldn't get it right in my heart, being like, the man I'm going to want to marry and be the father of my kids one day has respected me so much and disrespected me so much in the past. Like, no, that's not going to happen. He did not love me. I was in limerence. That's what it was. I fell in love with his potential. I fell in love with the man he could be. He showed me this freaking horrible person. And I'm like, I forgive you. So stupid. So stupid. I break up with him. I don't see him. He sent me thousands of flowers. He found my address. He found my therapist here in Miami. And she couldn't tell me that, but she was like, your boyfriend, like this and this and this, and I freak out. I'm texting him like, how the fuck did you find my therapist? How the fuck? He's like, I wanted you back. I wanted her to have my experience with you. I wanted her to see that I love you. And I'm like, he didn't even deny it. He comes to my place and I'm like, you know what? You can come in. He's leaving all these flowers. I block him from the doorman. I do all of this stuff. And I'm like, no, you can come in here. My best friend and I sat right here. He's crying, begging for me back on his knees, hands and knees, saying what he did was wrong. He admitted everything, putting his hands on me, gaslighting me, cheating on me, making me feel like I had BPD. Like these things that are so traumatizing for now a 22-year-old that's wanting to let go. He didn't want me to let go. He wanted control, and he did. He had control over me. The moment that he didn't have control over me, didn't know what I was doing, I blocked him and everything. I stopped posting. I did all of that. I was like, you don't have control over me. That's why you want me. You don't even love me. You just want to be wanted. You just want to be wanted so bad. You want to be wanted. Like, who does that? I break up with him. I don't talk to him. I don't see him. After that night, I do not see him. I go to Europe. I meet my now boyfriend. We started dating later into it. We spent every day to each other in Europe. I went with my girlfriends. I met my boyfriend. He lives in the same unit as me, everything like that. My boundaries. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking for anything. Nothing. I kind of give him some like tea, kind of shade about my ex and be like, I understand, like traumatized. I'm going to therapy. Like right now, what's best for me is not being in a relationship. Like my therapist I've been going to see for about 4 weeks. I was going twice a week at the time. She was like, no. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I got verified on Snapchat. Snapchat, you get paid per how many pictures that you post. So I'm posting so much in Europe. I'm on my dream vacation. We went to 20 countries. This massive group of us. We're having so much fun. I get to Ibiza. He's in Ibiza. And he's with Ibiza. I've never seen these people in my life. I don't even remember seeing the girls. I just remember seeing him. He stalks me in Ibiza. He found out where I was going because I was talking about I need to go get Sephora. I need to go get makeup. Like my face foundation is not tan like my body, so I look like Casper, like James Charles. I look like James Charles because my foundation didn't match my body. He sees me. He comes up to me. He cyber stalked where I was going to be, and he was there in Sephora begging for me back again. My boyfriend was not my boyfriend at the time. I'm with him. Our bodyguard is in the car because I'm like, we're like running in and out, park illegally. We're gonna be 5 minutes. Now we're 15 minutes. He's getting worried. My bodyguard gets out. It's already at 10 minutes. Okay, go to part 3 because I have emails leading up to the end of August when he was emailing me for me back.
So there's still more to see. Like I was saying, it's quite long, the TikToks actually posted, but some things are calling out to me right now. Let me know what you guys are thinking. First, to be fair, she doesn't really strike me as a very authentic person. I do really get toxic vibes from her anyway, and we are going to see Landon's and Liz's response themselves. And I just find it so odd that it's just so about me, and then like 30 minutes about me and the trauma, when this whole relationship doesn't even have to do about her, you know what I mean? So yeah, she definitely seems strange to begin with. I'm not getting very like genuine, authentic vibes from her at all. I'm not saying she's lying or anything. We'll see more in a minute, but yeah. And then the second thing is, I think this does prove my point that I was saying in earlier videos, that regardless of what she's saying is true or not, Landon was just really not ready at all to be in such a serious relationship and to literally get his wife pregnant at all. Like he was just really not in that place, as we later saw. So another thing that strikes me as really odd, and no, I'm not victim blaming here because I feel like you have to be so careful with these topics because there's always someone that's like, you're victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming, okay? But statistically, when relationships are this abusive and this toxic, like she describes their relationship to have been, like, you know, multiple instances of physical abuse and of cheating and emotional abuse and everything she's describing, that's just like, I can't even fathom. Like, it's just stressing me out just hearing about it. Like, Jesus Christ. When it's that level, it's very rarely just one person, because the other one, even if it's just self-defense, they're going to react, you know, whether it's emotional or not, they're going to react. And she's taking zero accountability at any point. Like, she's just really saying that she was consistently attacked by this person, you know, emotionally, cheating wise, physically. She was just the perfect victim here. She never reacted, she never said anything, she never did anything. It just seems very odd. I mean, these things do happen, and if they have happened to you and you literally just stayed because you had no self-esteem or whatever it was, you know, I'm not blaming you. That's not my intention here. But I'm saying it's rare for these kind of things to happen. Usually there's some sort of pushback from the affected person. Either they will fight back physically or verbally, or they will cheat as well. It's very rarely this extreme, and it just seems really strange to me that she's just basically slandering this person without much proof than, you know, text messages, but we're in the era of AI right now. and in such a particular moment. You know, I'm always very wary about these things because, again, they're very serious accusations, and I feel like you need some hardcore proof to just go out there and say these things about someone. But let's continue, because she did say one last thing.
This is the last and final video of Landon and our 1-year relationship, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I think this is healing something inside of me, because I had so much carried shame from someone else's disrespect that I don't need to carry anymore. I don't need to carry the burden of someone else's weight on their shoulders for what they did. So at the end of the day, that girl that was in Miami with me on the boat talking about how nice that I was and how nice that he was, thank you, because you're the reason I made this video, and the thousands of DMs I'm getting about everyone saying, were you the other girl? I was not the other girl. I will never, ever, ever be another girl, because I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like, and I have too much respect for myself. So I left off where Landon finds me in Ibiza, cyber stalking me on Snapchat. I'm posting everything, what I'm doing, where I'm going. I post it in real time. I was stupid. I didn't know better. I know better now. He comes up to me. He's like, I'm going to talk to you. And then my current boyfriend's like, do you want to talk to him? I'm like, no. He's like, he grabs my arm. My current boyfriend pushes his arm back and was like, she does not want to talk to you, dude, so that means that you leave. He makes a big scene. I hope that there was people videoing. I hope if you're in that Ibiza Sephora, please post the video. He was like, this is my ex-girlfriend. She left me. She's now with this Arab man. He's Colombian. He was making fun of the way that my boyfriend looked. And I was just like seeing red at this point. I'm crying. My boyfriend's like, don't cry. He's going to win. What you told me about him, if he is a narcissist, he is a psychopath. He loves seeing you sad. He loves having that control over you. He's like, be cool. Be cool as a cucumber. He said, he still says it. I love him. He's amazing. And he's a bit older. He's 29 at the time, and I was 22 at the time. So it's a big age gap. He's so sweet. We are about to have 1 year. So he pushes him away. He's making a whole scene walking out of the Sephora. I soaked up my tears. I went into my eyes. My bodyguard comes in at the end, and we're like, yeah, we need to fucking leave. So he escorts us out. We pay, we leave. I'm in the car crying. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so scared. We ended up going to Zara to go get some clothes for him, because I planned for a 1.5 week trip in Saint-Tropez and Ibiza. And then now after that, we're going to Lake Como, and we spent 3 months there. So we all just kept on like hopping. So that's that. He's sending me emails now. He's sending me emails. I wish I had every single email, but I kept on deleting the spam emails, and I wish I didn't, but there's a lot more. He sees us at a club. He sees us at a club. He sends 5 guys that he was with and one of his bodyguard to go fight my boyfriend. This is what happened at the club. I don't remember the name. It was a massive club. We had a great table. I'm going to the bathroom. So the bodyguards, I was like, no, literally not that serious. I'm just going to the bathroom. Camilo's like, my boyfriend now. He was like, oh, I'll go to the bathroom with you. I'll walk you there. Because the girls had to go. Oh no, I was with the girl. Sorry, I was with one of the girls. She didn't speak English. She was French. So she had no idea what's going on. So we walked to the bathroom. In one of the bathrooms, 10 of those people that Landon was with come out. So I'm assuming they were doing or something else. He had hickeys all over his neck. The girl next to him had hickeys all over his neck. The girls are like shouting at me, and I'm like, I literally go into fight or flight. This is the second time I'm in fight or flight with him. And I'm just sitting there, I freeze. I freeze the second time. I'm like, how the frick does this man have me so terrified when I'm so like safe? Like, I'm next to this guy. I'm so safe. I'm in control. I have the power. I freeze. He's like, I'm gonna talk to you, Abby. I'm emailing you. I'm texting you. Whatever he says, and I'm freaking out. And Camilo's like, go to the bathroom. And I literally freeze. And he's like, you're making me look embarrassed. And I'm like laughing. I was like, I make me look embarrassed. I made me look embarrassed. I stopped in my tracks. Oh, embarrassing. So we went through that with therapy. Thank God we did. EMDR has literally saved my life. And I get out of the bathroom. Landon's gone. Everyone's gone. Chilling. So there's the stalls right here, and then there's a wall. So like stalls, wall, you walk around to wash your hands because we're not dirty. So I'm gonna go wash my hands. I look in the peripheral vision and I see Camilo and 5 guys. He's surrounded by 5 guys and 1 bodyguard. They're all yelling at him. I'm like, oh my God. Look at me starting another issue. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the problem. I am the issue. Like, I feel so bad. This poor innocent man has nothing to do with this, and now I'm gonna get fucking jumped. Wasn't scared. Camila would have won. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. But it was more shameful. I'm like, why does this man that has not done anything but been sweet to me have to deal with someone from my past? Why do I have such expensive baggage? I call it expensive baggage because I do, because it cost me a lot in therapy. Like, why do I have to put myself in an embarrassing situation where I'm looking like another girl that's crying wolf? Like the little boy who cried wolf. Like, no, I look like a damsel in distress. Like, that's so embarrassing. That's so shitty. Like, I even was like such a low vibrational being to be attracted to these men. Like, now he's thinking that I have like no, like I was just in my head. And I'm so ADHD telling stories. I just want to make sure I don't leave anything out. He's emailing me. I think the last email, anyway, sorry, the fight. The thing that y'all are waiting for. He does, no one swings, no one does anything. My boyfriend is Colombian, so he does speak Spanish, and we're in Spain, duh. So now, the GM pulls us aside. I'm drunk, I'm crying, I'm like, oh my God, are they gonna kick us out? Everything like that. The guy in Spanish was telling Camilo that they had the bodyguard there because they said that your man was provoking them, and they're like, no, this is what happened. I show them the emails, and they're like, oh, what the fuck? No, y'all are good. We get back up, having a great time at the club. We get out like 6 in the morning, we see them again, and now I'm with like my whole ass group and our security guard. So I was like, I'm untouchable, I'm fine, I'm safe. Like, I feel like a girl again. Like, this is what I want to feel like, and I just felt so safe. So push comes to shove, and after Ibiza, we went to like 6 different countries after that. But the last email that I got from him was that, and I'm not gonna go through them. As you can see, it's 7:28. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's never too late. He's begging for me back, July 27th. That's that. And yeah. That is my story, and that's all 3 parts, and that's everything there. And I hope this makes everyone understand our dynamic and how frightening it was for that to happen. I left out a part where I called the police on Landon, and I can't believe I forgot about that. But I did call the police on Landon December of 23. Beginning in 24, because he put his hands on me, and we were in the car together driving home, and I was scared that he was gonna do it again, and he locked the door and I couldn't get out, so I was really terrified. So I did call the police on him once, and when the police came, I always told him, I was like, he's not the type that would like kill me, but he's definitely the type that would kidnap me, and then I'd never see my family again. And then I've watched you, and I realized, damn, like, that's Landon. And it was his favorite show. So if that's not a telltale sign, then I don't know what is. But I hope that everyone understands I was not the girl he cheated on with. I hope everyone understands that I did not even want to make this video. I hope everyone understands that that man is so broken and unhealed, and such a broken boy. And I hope you kind of understand what I went through. And it is hard to leave. If you're in a situation that I'm in, or we were, it's hard to leave. It's really hard. But the moment you do, you're gonna find that life is so much easier and brighter. The air is crisp. Everything is just so much better. You're not talking in fight or flight. You're not in a hypervigilant spot. That you're worth and deserving being out of this relationship and feeling unconditional love by someone that's so scared to lose you that they won't even disrespect one of your boundaries. There's men like that out there, or women. Not that man. man did not love you. That man did not love you.
So before we do and see the last TikTok that she's posted, you know, each TikTok that she posts is like, last video I'm posting, and then she posts another one. I do want to show you guys what both Liz and Landon have posted to her stories regarding this. Okay, so this is from the wizard Liz herself. It says, guys, I'm getting videos from my friends that Landon's ex just posted a video saying that she had DM'd me in before and that I called her, saying, I guess, that she had DM'd Liz about how toxic this man was and, like, you know, to stay away from him. She says, I have never in my life called any woman or ever been aware about other women in our relationship. She shows evidence of a no caller ID number and claims she recognized it's me because of my Middle Eastern accent. I am not Middle Eastern, and it feels like to me you're trying to make fun of my accent. In fact, Liz is Russian. She's Muslim. I believe she's from Chechnya, which is a place in Russia that has a very big Muslim population, but she's not Middle Eastern, and I think she actually has a very Russian accent. In fact, I remember when I first started watching her, I was like, wow, she has a very Russian accent, but I didn't think she was Russian because she has shared being Muslim, and, you know, I wasn't aware that there was such a big Muslim population there. So that's already a first lie that we're seeing, you know. And of course, here's like everybody's like word against each other, but assuming we believe Liz, which to be honest I do, well, that's the first lie, that she's saying that there was someone with a Middle Eastern accent when she doesn't really have a Middle Eastern accent. She could have confused it, I guess, but it seems like Liz is directly saying that this woman never called her. Anyway, so she keeps on, Liz, saying, whatever happened between you and Landon is between you guys to solve, but don't start lying and making up rumors about me. And then she says, my friend kept commenting that I never called her or have seen her DMs, and her comments kept getting deleted. I don't understand what your motive is, referring to the girl. And I guess, you know, assuming this is all true, she probably just want attention. It's such a convenient moment, what I was saying. She also leaked Landon's phone number and email, and people are calling and texting him every second to unalive himself. And that's such a red flag, you know, the fact that she's doing this. She's claiming here she's this like poor traumatized woman and she just wants him to heal and whatever, but then you're doing this so that people, you know, in this particular moment, so that people will actually tell this man to take his life away. I think that's very, very strange and telling of someone that's not well mentally, to say the least. I don't want the father of my child to hurt himself. He's already going through it and he's already lost everything. Stop the hate, please. Then she says she thanks her followers for helping her out and for supporting her. And then she says, oh, and I'm trying to message her personally now, but I just saw she blocked me. Girl, how are you going to lie and block me? For real. And how are you going to talk about cheating when Landon just posted evidence of you having a married sugar daddy whilst in a relationship with him? Weird. Very strange. Guys, it's all so exhausting, honestly. I really don't know how people can deal with these kind of things. Anyway, so we still have to see the video of Abby reacting to all this. We'll see what she has to say. But let's also see what Landon said, because it's very, very strong. He says, I'm taking my power back. I'm done not defending myself. I'm done not respecting myself. I am not Joe Goldberg of the fucking internet. Before Liz, I was in a 1-year relationship with the most toxic, manipulative, abusive, lying, cheating, and narcissistic person I know. After that relationship ended, all I felt was bad for them. And it does sound, at least in the screenshot that she's sharing, assuming that they're real, that towards the end, he was like, you know, I love you, but I'm like happy to let you go or whatever. I began healing. I prayed for them. I never spoke publicly about what I endured because why keep giving them my energy? However, now that they feel they have permission to jump on this international Landon hate train, they took this viral opportunity, which they have nothing to do with, to dox me, leak my work number, and make up lies, saying whatever they can for their own personal and monetary gain. Something that, regardless of what happened between them and regardless of what's true or not, it is extremely messed up when this person is getting so much hate to just, well, in general, you know, just to dox someone like that. Like, come on. I'm done not defending myself. Congratulations for proving yourself a fool. I am no longer going to be effed with. And he posts pictures that I will probably blur because YouTube is a sensitive space, but there are bruises and I don't even know what this is. And honestly, I'm glad I don't know what these are. I guess like scratch marks, but just bite marks. I don't know. Very, very rough marks on Landon's neck. And it says, how crazy is it for your abuser to claim you physically abused them when you have never and would never hit a woman, even when they hit you and you endured many instances of physical abuse from them? And I believe when she does say in the screenshots is that he punched the wall, things which are of course very toxic and unnecessary, but I don't think she ever actually says that he hit her. I'm not sure. Many instances provable in court. My attorneys will see you there. Then he goes on and says, ask yourself what their motivation is for doing something. Here's another example of lying. saying I creepily Joe Goldberg style found the same therapist when we moved to Miami, lol. And now he proves receipts of having a conversation with this therapist. And he's like, Amber. And she's like, hi, Landon, how are you managing? And he's like, not well. Abby felt she had permission to just come out and post false things about our past relationship, including saying that I somehow reversed engineered finding you as my therapist because I somehow knew she went to you. And she's like, reverse engineered? You both were initially supposed to come for a couple session. And then we had one individual session first. And he's like, thank you. Exactly. You're proving my point. So that's yet another lie that we're seeing that this blonde woman shared. And then he's like, imagine how much trauma this inflicts on someone who actually wants to be a great father. So much proof. And he shows proof of a fake pregnancy. Remember, she was saying she had a miscarriage, of a fake pregnancy and manipulating all that. And this is where the texts are. She's like, we were pregnant. I can't block you now until I know I'm not pregnant. And he's like, in that case, I hope you're not pregnant. And she says, if I'm pregnant with your baby, then we're going to do the mature thing and get rid of it. And you'll fund that whole excursion. Have a great life, Landon. If I am pregnant, I'm going to send you the bill for my treatment. Whereas it sounds like she had a miscarriage. And then she's like, I hope one day you get someone pregnant, I don't know. And she has a miscarriage and then understand what she went through because that's what I did alone. And then I hope you make her pay for everything. So apparently it was like a fake pregnancy or something, or at least a fake miscarriage from what we can see. Then we have more screenshots of her lying. And it's basically talking about guys that she was like cheating with. He's like, Cody Mack looked nothing like me. Darby looked nothing like me. Luke doesn't look like me. James doesn't look like me. I don't know if these are guys that she had a thing with or something, where she was dating him, Landon. And she's like, Mondo gave me thousands of dollars and was a client. What? So I guess that this refers to the fact that she was likely like an escort or something before being with Landon or while being with him, which she completely seems like the type. I mean, most of these girls that you see online that have so many followers and live such lavish lifestyles and this and that. Okay, we all know where it comes from, Anyway, so he keeps going. He's like, Z didn't look like me. Cody blocked it, didn't even kiss. What the fuck? I never cheated with any of them. And he's saying that he knows they went to Mexico together and went on dates. And whenever she kind of keeps going and she's like, I didn't cheat on you with any of them. Mondo, you knew about. And James, you read the messages and saw what he was holding here over my head. For that, I can admit shame. I entertained Jet because I was a bottle girl and booked him and got 10%. Same with Cody. Anyway, I really don't know why these people were together. They sound insane, both of them. Anyway, now he keeps going and he's like, imagine dropping your girlfriend off at the airport to go see her girls in Vegas when in reality she went to meet a rich, fat, old sugar daddy multiple times. Funny at this point. So it's funny because that's what she said he did, right? She was saying that he went to Mexico, but he actually went and like cheated on her. So now he's saying she did that. So I don't even know at this point, And he's like, Detroit is where Z is, right? Real estate convention. All is the biggest augmented reality expo as far as I'm aware. Need to get in there next year. And she's like, you need to, and I don't know. I'm getting some paperwork signed for us. NDA because I've sent you nudes and told you a lot of info. Just safe for us. And he puts a little note here and says, you were so worried about people finding out who Z is, so I put his name right here so he knows you lied when you told him you wouldn't tell anyone about his marital affairs either. So she was having an affair with someone that was having a marital affair. He was the married one. And Landon ends up sharing who it is. And apparently it's like some tycoon or something. I mean, you can go ahead and look him up. And, of course he was married. And anyway, she broke that NDA and he's here exposing her. And he's like, you want me to sign an NDA because you sent me nudes or because I know about Z? That's weird. And she's like, nudes, family drama. And he's like, what? You probably signed an NDA with Z. I don't even know at this point what was going on. But anyway, and then he finishes this story saying, I believe this person is a pathological liar and I hate to even post this to the internet, but I'm done not defending myself. This person does not care about what happened between Liz and I. She just wants to personally and monetarily benefit from my image. Honestly, I get that vibe as well. My legal team is beginning to litigate to the full extent of the law. Somehow, all of this made people forget I am an intelligent, self-made, multi-millionaire, serial entrepreneur, aka I'm smart enough to defend myself and get my bag. Thank you, next. So yeah, guys, very toxic. Like, I'm getting just bad vibes from reading all of this. Like, I really just don't know how people can get in these things and stay in them. And I think we can gather some interesting conclusions here. Again, we don't know who's saying the truth or not. Honestly, I'm really inclined to believe Landon and Liz on this one. This woman just really popped out of nowhere and she doesn't really give me the best vibes, to be honest. I'm sure some of the things she did say are true, but just in general, I don't know. I think there's a lot to unpack there. But lots of things are interesting here. For one, people were really just, shitting on Landon and saying he's this like ugly like man that no one would want. And I was saying how that's not the case, and even got hate for saying that. Not in like, oh, I think he's handsome or not. Like, I really don't care about that. People are entitled to their opinions, but I was saying that he's the kind of man that would probably get a bunch of girls if he wanted to, because the online hate train was saying like, how could he even find anyone? And it's like, are you guys for real? Like, he is, a handsome, tall guy, and he's someone who makes a lot of money, and clearly he can get very attractive girls. And I wasn't saying that to defend what he did whatsoever. I have no interest in that. I'm the first one to think that what he did was extremely wrong. I'm only saying that to put things into perspective, because I do find that a lot of girls are very delusional when it comes to men and the kind of women that they can or cannot attract. And the more you know, the better off you are as a woman. The second thing is that, again, we don't know who's right, we don't know who's lying, but I do think they were likely, Landon and his ex, they were likely both toxic. Probably she more than him, just from what Liz is claiming and whatnot. But I am inclined to believe that he's probably into these kind of toxic relationships, and that proves my point that he's probably not ready for a serious like marriage or commitment, like I said in my last video. And it makes me wonder if it's because of this that he ended up doing what he did to Liz. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he was just so used to the highs and the lows and the craziness of these kind of toxic relationships with these kind of crazy girls, that when he finally found someone good who was not up for any of that and who just wants a healthy, stable relationship, and who she herself said it, that she's more of like an introvert who likes to be home, versus this girl who's like a bottle girl who's like flying to meet all these sugar daddies. Maybe he just didn't feel the same emotions, and that's why he went and did what he did, which is something that people of both genders sadly do. Once they get out of one of these crazy toxic relationships, they're just not okay with being in a normal one. They get bored like literally right away, which is so unfortunate. And I just wish they would recognize that in themselves before actually harming other people. You know what I mean? And I also do wonder if there's some of that Madonna whore complex at play here. If you guys don't know that, it's kind of this complex that I would say most men have to an extent. And I think it's something that women have as well, just it manifests in a different way. But many men, they separate women into two categories. The women that they would maybe have a crazy relationship with, more so casual, or even just like a one night stand, or like friends with benefits. And then the woman that they see as like the woman of their lives, or like the mother of their kids. And it makes sense why he was saying that whenever he was in these crazy relationships, he would think of Liz and be like, that's the woman that I want, or I'm so happy that there are still women out there like her. It actually makes a lot of sense as to everything that happened, because he would idealize her so much. He would see that she was healthy and mature and not into any of these kind of games, and he was like, that's the one that I want to have kids with, or whatever. But then all his toxicity and all his patterns that he himself likely enabled, even if it's by just staying in that relationship, did not allow him to actually enjoy the healthy relationship that he was in and stay there. So yeah, I do wonder if he was just really into more so the girls that he was having fun with, the bottle girls and all these girls, and then he just saw Liz more so as like the mother, the virginal one, the more pure one. And then he went and did what he did with someone that he didn't deem on that same level. You know what I mean? I think there may have been some of that Madonna horror play. And I think that actually happens to more men than they will admit, but the difference is that some are mature enough to not let it consume the relationship, or to not cause them to do things that would break that relationship, whereas others are just so immature that they just cannot resist the temptation or the opportunity. And then this is one last thing that Landon has also shared regarding what happened. And after Abby released all these crazy accusations, he has said, "Hurting Liz is my deepest regret to date. I was messaging because I crave feeling respected and valued, not because I wanted to sleep with someone else. I told her many times I needed to feel more loved and respected because I really did show up as the best partner I could be." Okay, so he's saying basically that in this relationship with her, he didn't feel valued or respected enough or loved enough, which, again, because I see a lot of you coming like, oh, I'm not justifying anything. I'm just reaching conclusions here, and I'm reading what he's saying. Nothing justifies what he did at all. Anyway, I am not some Joe Goldberg evil man. I poured so much love into her. I opened every door. I solved every problem. I uprooted my life for her and was very kind and compassionate wherever I could. I surprised her with expensive and thoughtful gifts. I improved her cash flow, taught her what I could. I listened. I was forgiving when feeling betrayed myself, and ultimately really did try my best to lead her, and I with love. I was obviously not strong enough to prevent this, but I would have never posted our shit to the internet. I am grateful I may now truthfully acknowledge this and take the steps necessary to become the best man and partner I can be. And I hope he does. I hope he moves on and heals and becomes a good father and actually learns to be a good partner and leaves all that toxicity behind before he implies any other woman, because I think it's been a lot, you know. But I have to say, it is getting to that point that he must be going through it, and people have unalived themselves from things like this. And I really think the internet hate should stop. And if you don't care about this guy, at least because you care about Liz and you care about the unborn baby. And I think the biggest lesson we can all learn from this is that you really have to get to know people before you make such a big investment into that relationship, you know, as is pregnancy. Before you get so committed, you really, really have to learn about them. Not that you could learn everything and think you have a solid relationship and then bad things could happen, because it happens all the time to both genders. But you do really want to feel like at least you tried everything and you know what kind of relationships they had in the past and how they reacted and their patterns and where their maturity really is, actions wise, not just words wise. And if there's just any ounce of toxicity, like that relationship between Landon and that ex, just get out of there as soon as you can, because Jesus Christ, that's all I have to say. But anyway, I'm sure we'll keep seeing more updates from this story. Hope it doesn't get too bad, but I feel like it'll just keep getting worse till God knows what happens. And I'll keep making videos, not just regarding to this, but to other topics as well. And if you'd like me to talk about anything you're interested in, please do share. As you can see, my channel is new and it is growing, so I would love to hear what you want me to talk about. I will see you very soon, and thank you for watching.